So today I had the somewhat daunting task of replacing a commercial door. Not replacing the door, but replacing the hardware on a commercial door. The pivots, or hinges, whatever you want to call them. This is my first time doing this, and so I'm going to show you how it's done because I couldn't find a really explanatory video to suit my needs, so here's one for you. And what I have here is an American aluminum door. It's got a little tag on there. It's called American aluminum. So I went ahead and ordered a while back this hardware. These pieces that go onto the pivots, or are the pivots. And anyway, I'll walk you through it. It was kind of tough because I'm a block from the ocean, and the salt air just destroys these things. So let's have a look at the anatomy of these door hinge systems. Today I'm going to be replacing the pivots on this commercial door. So first thing I'm going to do is release it from up here. See this retracts. I'm going to pull this pin down, retract it, and get the door off of here. Over the years, these commercial doors, the hinge parts tend to wear down, and this door was installed in 1987 or whenever this building was built. I know it was in the 80s, and these are the parts that open and close the door, the hinges, the pivots. And when they wear, your door sags. Your door tends to come down with gravity, and it gives you a gap at the top. These things need to be replaced. The cool thing is that they last so long. Some of these doors last forever. But look at the wear on these, and this is frozen up, obviously. This hole is now too big in the bottom of here, and it was just causing a lot of problems. Oh, and I understand that my neighbor paid $350 a door. There are multiple doors in this suite in the building next door. $350 or $375 a door. It can be challenging, but it's for a do-it-yourselfer guy, it'll be right up your alley. It's just figuring it out. But I couldn't find a good video, so here's one for you. Now, the first thing that you want to do is to release the door. You want to take the arm here of this opening mechanism off of actually closure mechanism. You want to take this arm off of the door. There are two screws, in this case 2 Phillips screws, which I've already started to remove. And you want to remove, number 2 thing, is this door, plate, this threshold plate. You want to remove that, because if you don't, it's going to be impossible to get the bottom part of this pivot hinge system out. We'll get into that. Next thing I'm going to do is release it from up here. See this retracts. I'm going to pull this pin down, retract it, and get the door off of here. Well, that didn't work because the pin and the spring were corroded, and it just immobilized by salt and moisture. So I had to take the whole part off of the top of the door. We're in a very salty environment, and my first 2 screws taking out, I've ruined 2 bits, broken the heads of 2 bits, and I broke this screw. I was using an impact drill to try to get them out. But I'll just have to drill that out and get this top catch off here. It's a pain in the ass. That's what it took. That aluminum is not looking so great right there for me, but I think it'll be all right. This thing obviously is frozen. It's supposed to retract when you push on it, but it's shot. And now it's tricky to get this out of here from above, rather than inside of the door. I get a little wrench in there. It's important to remember that when you're buying hardware for your door, these pivot hinge systems, you have to buy the proper kind, whether that be right hand or left hand. And also a piece of trivia comes in here, and that is, did you know that commercial doors open outside? They open to the outside, whereas your residential door will open to the inside typically. And there's a reason for that, and the reason is if you have a crowd in a building and there's a disaster, a fire or earthquake or whatever, and everybody's trying to get out at once, and you have a bunch of people run to the door, they block the door. Then if you have a door that opens inward and there's too many people there, they can't open it. If there's a crowd at the door, they can't push it out. So legally, they have to open outward. So when you buy your hardware, there's a diagram usually on these sales pages, like on Amazon or eBay. If you're using your left hand to open the door to the left, that's a left-handed door. If you're using your right hand to open the door to the right, that's a right-handed door. Here's my little kit for the replacement hinge for this door. And in this kit comes a little hardware bag, and here you can see the screws that I just took out of here, those old rotten screws that I had to drill out. I must admit I'm a little uneasy, having never done this before, having my door off of this building and having this like kind of midway and not positive about what I'm doing. So I've got to make this work, basically, is what I'm saying, so that I have a door on. Now you can see what I'm replacing. I'm replacing this with this. And as I said, this will go up under in there, in this cavity here, and sit down in the door jamb. And this will catch it, corresponding with this piece here that is so incredibly worn, or just was manufactured large like that. I don't know. That's very wild. Yeah, I guess was more like a ball joint. But I've got to get in there and get these out, and I might have to cut the heads of those off with the reciprocating saw or something. Can you see in there? Hopefully for you, with your project, you'll be able to just unscrew the screws in these parts and not have to do what I did, which was to drill them out, because everything was corroded and nothing would come out without breaking. All right, I thought this would never come out of here. I couldn't get these screws bolts all the way out, so I had to cut them as I was coming out with my little vibratory saw. And I have gotten this piece in, as promised. Look how that goes, just like that. And it gets screwed in from there, and you can put, I suppose I could put, and probably would like to put, a concrete screw just to hold this in place real snug. Now I'm over here getting this piece off out of here. And fortunately, the first one is moving. You see? Look at that, it broke the head right off. It's just, we're a block from the beach, and this is the kind of shit you might expect here. So either I'll break that one off or saw it off, or whatever I have to do and get this replaced. All right, cut, broke, it's off. Got my new one. Now you just put your finger in there and put it on the head of that nut, and you can twist this and kind of screw it on. To me, this is not an optimal design, but this is what they've been doing for many, many years, and they work great over the many, many years. You just don't want to be the guy necessarily that has to install or uninstall them, right? For whatever reason, probably because this is the top of the door. These bolts came right out. Look how fresh they look. Huh? Nice and clean and fresh looking. Of course, the spring is shot and this is seized with rust, and that's why we're replacing it. So that was good. Toward the end of the job, I got lucky and took that off with ease with my little wrench in here. Okay, and I think these are standard, and I have metric wrenches here, so that's been a little bit of a problem. So I have hardware on both top and bottom, and of course top and bottom of the door. And I'm going to take the bottom of that door and I'm going to rest it on that pivot, and then I'm going to press down the button on the top and slide and push the door into place and slide it in there. Hopefully, as always, I'm doing this kind of thing by myself, so it's a challenge. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check the comments and the description below for more information. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.